Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Wednesday, October 16th. We're playing Constructed, trying to learn which of these decks are worth playing, which of these decks aren't, and showing off these decks as we've unlocked them. I guess these aren't constructed decks, actually. These are just the default decks that we have. Yeah. I may not be in a position, frankly, where it's a smart move, come to think of it, that to play with the default decks. I've been saying that I have seen a pretty high number of people that are just seemingly incapable of winning, even against me, who doesn't even really know what they're doing. And I wonder if that might be because they're playing with the default decks and I'm playing with the default decks, and I have the ability to net deck. I have cards. I probably need to, after this stream, build some net decks and at least be a little bit higher up. Even being a little bit higher up by the first month that I play opens up the doorway to me being more capable to win more rewards. Let's see. Whenever you gain life, put a counter on this. So, do I have? Something that would let me gain life? See, does this have lifelink or anything? No? So let's just not attack. We have a little bit of news still to go, and then that'll be the end of the stream. I'm definitely not going to go into a fourth hour. We've been mostly talking about the same few stories over and over again. But the What's on Steam app started spitting out new games that came out on Steam, which I assume this is a case of, in this instance it feels like this was a case of the employees at Valve simply not working for most of last week. Okay. This could defend, but I don't see reason to, so. So, Komatsu has an article here. The Coma 2 Vicious Sisters launches for PC via early access in November 7th. The Coma 2 being a sequel to the Coma recut, or so. Let's see. I recall the Coma being somewhat well received as a horror game. Looks almost like a visual novel, but I imagine this is just a screenshot of a cutscreen. Story-driven Korean horror game. Let's see. Coming out November 7th. Yep, that's. I said that. Who's blocking? Nobody. Nobody's blocking that. Okay. Five damage instead. What? What was that card that I just cast? Well, whatever card I just cast was enough for them to concede and give me victory. We ranked up back to silver tier 1. And if I focus more and play off screen, I'll probably rank up some more. I want to play that again because I don't even know what I did. Let's see. So here's the coma recut. It looks like it is a almost adventure game in a horror genre. It's on my wish list. So, an interesting art style too. Not really what you're expecting when you hear Korean horror. And then here's the Coma 2, which seems like it's maybe a little bit more zoomed in of an adventure game. Alright, we can put that on the fall list even though it's not out in any way whatsoever. I think I need a mulligan on that one. And then what do we want to get rid of? Put that at the bottom. So, just as the Google Stadia is being announced, Gamma Sutra has an article here. Google has backed away from Daydream VR due to the general lack of interest. This was the phone-powered virtual reality offering launched in 2016. Okay. So that's pretty much all Google projects in a nutshell. Is that they get forgotten, they get abandoned. So I don't know why you would want to hop on any new service that Google is offering. Google does have some good services, but a lot of them frankly came from acquisitions in recent memory. Like all the Nest stuff is from acquisitions. Let's see, return that to the hand. Draw a card, and then attack. Let's see, Gamma Sutra has a blog here called Region-Based Narrative. This is another Control blog article, or at least in part. It's, I think it was talking about Control. Yeah, we're past the point, in my opinion, that anybody should be talking about Control. Control also is a great example of a game that Control is a good example of a game that was kind of beloved by mainstream video game reviewers, but because it's an Epic Store exclusive, I really haven't seen a lot of people talking about it. Didn't really get me a lot of views as someone who got access to it because they bought a new video card. What's this addendum? Gain 2 life? Sure. Draw 2 cards, gain 2 life. I like that idea. Again, this is a Gamma Sutra article blog that if you're a game developer, it makes sense to possibly talk about it, but if you're not a game developer, you probably don't want to read this article since it's not going to really have any effect. Gamma Sutra has the same article here. Google Stadia finally has a concrete launch date. I swear I opened duplicate pages from the same things. 3 life, draw a card. Do I want to attack? Like, one would get through, but one would potentially be blocked. Choose the blocker. There. Play this. First strike. Creatures your opponents control get -1, -0. 5 damage. 5 damage to target tapped card. Let's play this. Play this. There we go. That worked out quite nicely. Game of Sutra has an article here. Riot will use League of Legends as a springboard for a deluge of new games. We've been talking about that all stream. Project A, Project L, Project F, and a card game, and a animated cartoon. Vigilance 2-5. Or flying. Let's see. Gamatsu has an article. Doyukoku Soshite Remaster is coming to Switch on November 7th in Japan. I have no idea what Doyokoku Soshite is, but it looks like it's a visual novel if I was to guess. A suspense adventure game. Wow, and this looks like one of those 80s games by the animation style. I wish this would come back as kind of a consistent animation style, but yeah. Looking here, it seems like, oops, shouldn't have showed that. Better pop off of that. Oh yeah, there's this trail showing a large amount of skin. Wasn't expecting that. But yeah, it looks like mostly it's a walk around a maze area, finding keys and finding ways to escape. Everybody pretend like you didn't see that and don't tell YouTube. Deal 5 damage. What does this one do? Let's see. Well, I could do this. And this is probably the best move. See, whenever you cast a thing, you may return this to your hand. Sure, why not? And then, do I want vigilance on the field or more spells? What's this ability? Tap, gain 2 life, don't need that. All attack. 4. And at this point, we've got a run of games that really came out on Steam. What was that card? Here. Cry of Cranium? Murder? See, that's something Hearthstone would just never have. You'd never be a card just called Murder. This is the opposite of censorship. They go further than they probably should. There we go. Victory. And see, here's where the fourth victory comes in is one card. Just one card is actually worth playing all these games. So now that we've gone through everything, I've just been kind of going in circles, but there's definitely been some of these decks that have had better success than others. I guess what I'm really doing right now is just building up the statistics for the untapped.gg app so that you can tell me which decks are worth keeping and which decks aren't. But it's kind of pointless. Like, I've already decided I need to start net decking as fast as possible. I need to try to win as fast as possible and get as high up in the ranked as much as possible. That there's no time to lose, even though I'm relatively early in this game, I'm still not early enough. Even if I'd been day one, I should have been probably net decking and cheating as much as possible. One life for every character on the field. Nice. So next we have a game on Steam called Musabi. And this almost looks like it's Cuphead on the screenshot, but by the looks of it, it's just a low effort platforming game. I feel like Musabi is some African word that means something offensive. $4.99, English only. Yeah, there's nothing super impressive about this. This looks like an NES game, but it's not an NES game, so why would I want to play it? And it doesn't even look like a particularly great NES game. Let's see, whenever you draw a second card each turn, deal 3 damage to any target. Okay. What's this one called? Opt? OPT? It's a weird name. I guess optical. That should have been the card I should have played. And then whenever you gain a life, do some more things. This whole deck is around gaining life. Next we have a game on Steam called Christopia, a puzzle journey. We really don't have a lot of games that have come out on Steam, so I don't know if we're gonna maybe see some curation or if this is just a case of
it seems we've encountered another puzzle on our quest.
Maybe it's a situation where they didn't, and I can't do anything. What's my ability here? We'll create a 1/1 white soldier. This looks alright. Like, this looks like this might be a small indie kind of puzzle game. I like puzzle adventure games. I'll put this on the follow list. We'll see what people say about it. $4.49 discounted. Full audio it claims. Third party EULA is a little weird. It's being compared to Cube and QUB 2, which those were alright puzzle games. Although, let's see. There's probably some work that could have been done. Probably should have used this ability. Yeah, I only have like 10 games. But
I enjoyed the proper application.
There's some other news. So I kind of suspect by this time Friday, when we're streaming Friday, we'll have a really long list of games. I might have to even do some curation there. Yeah, I don't think this white deck, which is just around healing, works. Like, I don't think it makes sense.
Let me synthesize
next we have a game on Steam called Tunnel VR, which looks like it's a motion sickness simulator, for lack of anything else, and looks like it would be just an asset flip, like, experience game. $2.99 makes it way too cheap for a VR game. We'll show only. Yeah, and unimpressive for what it's showing me. Yeah, it looks like you're going through a bloodstream or a tunnel inside a bloodstream, which none of that makes sense. Alright. Let's see. Attack. Attack. That saved me for one turn. Possibly.
We like to finish each other's.
What? Attack already?
Another defeat. You know, being stuck at silver tier 1 isn't terrible for the first month of playing, like for the first week of playing. There's a lot more that could be done, but certainly we're not in a terrible position. Next game we have on Steam is called Cat Girl Lover 2. This is a honeypop match 3 game with anime girls on the side, and there's a little bit of dialogue here. It's tagged with nudity. It's $1.49. English full audio, a bunch of other language supports. I don't think I need to play this game, and frankly the bust size on this is way too large. And this is in Russian in the screenshots, which makes me feel like this is a Russian troll game more than an actual game. So, yeah. Honeypop 2, when it comes out, I will play. But that's pretty much as a match 3 dating game as I'm willing to... dating romance sex game I'm willing to play. I'm not trying to do the full gamut of them, of which there is many. Let's see. Next we have a game on Steam called Ping Redux, which looks like a combination of maybe Pong and Asteroids and just a bunch of low effort games combined. Like, there is something to be said about putting every single old arcade clone in one bundle, but then charging $4.24 is still too expensive for what this looks like. So all I have is a positive effect card. I should have mulliganed. That's what I should have done. There is something about the balance of magic cards, like 3 green and then 3 something else. It would be really hard to play this in a green-blue deck or any other kind of deck like that, because there's just too high of a chance that you won't ever get 3 green on the field in a reasonable amount of time. On the other hand, it if you don't play right and you don't mulligan, then you still may have a problem. Let's see. Next game we have on Steam is called Dark Fairy Fantasy. It's not 16:9, it looks like it's an RPG maker game probably. Yep, I don't see anything special here. It's $1.99, English, Chinese, Russian. Another possible low effort Chinese or Russian game if I was to guess. Let's go ahead and skip that. Let's see. I'm still... See, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you control scry 1 whenever a spell that targets a creature you control draw a card. Interesting. So if I can get a creature on the field next turn, then I could scry, and then I could play this spell to do something, I suppose, and draw the card. But I'd have to play a spell in a specific... Let's see. I have to play it during the opponent's turn. It feels like there's a decent chance that we'll lose before this happens. Vigilance 2/2. Or Trample 4/4. Do I want to scry this, or do I want another land card? Seems like when you put cards on the bottom of your deck, you put them face up, which is weird, but okay. So this says trample, but these two can just fly right over that. That can fly 2. If I do this, I can't cast any spells. But there's kind of nothing else I can do, so let's do this. I guess. Does he want to block? Or does he want to attack? I think I have to attack. I think I'm gonna lose here. Next we have a game on Steam, Blockfall Simulator 2019, a low effort Tetris clone with a low effort name, 99 cents, English full audio, subtitles, third party user account, subtitles? Interface, full audio, subtitles. Has it always been subtitles? Wow, the quality of games that have come out do seem to be a direct counter argument against the idea that this was curation was starting to happen on Steam. Like, we've seen some terrible games. And I guess we'll just stick with ranked play. Like, I don't see a reason not to. Like, while we're streaming, I'll just always play ranked. Off screen, I'll play regular play. And that way I'll potentially get easier victories. seems like on regular play you might leave the game running long enough to convince some people to get upset and just rage quit. But also it seems like this connections are not as good as Hearthstone's connections were, and so sometimes it does feel like games just disconnect and you get a victory because of that. Right. 2-2 or cast a spell. Let's start with this. I think that's a better move. Next we have a game on Steam called Desolatum Chapter 1 Sanatorium. This looks like it's kind of a walking simulator horror game. An abandoned old psychiatric... what? Doesn't seem like this is English. So is this a low effort asset flip horror game? Probably. It's early access, it's free to play, requires VR. Doesn't seem like it has in-app purchases. It's English and Spanish. Okay. It's being labeled as a point and click game in VR, which, boy, if there was ever a style of game I didn't want to play in VR, I think it would be point and click games. 2 damage to any target. I'm not ready to do that. No. Don't want to attack. No. So we'll just end the turn. I'm gonna put this game on the following list just because I'd like to see what other people have to say about a VR point and click game. That is a new concept to me. Wow. So legendary 1, 2. Because he makes goblins and gets a 1/1 token on him. Alright, well. Resolve. There you go. Kill that guy. There goes your major strategy card. Hope you have something else to do now. Let's see. What is... Nope. I'm not gonna attack. Next we have a game on Steam called Haunted Gas Station, which this definitely looks like a low effort asset flip horror game. A haunted gas station, that's one. Although in all fairness, if you were gonna pick a place where people have been murdered, you know, gas station's a good choice. Of course hospitals by far would be the #1 location. If you think about it, people die in hospitals more than anywhere else. If there were ghosts, we would be seeing them there more than anywhere else also. Are you gonna resolve? Okay, I'm gonna attack with that one. See, next we have a game on Steam called Lovely Heroines. Oops, didn't look at the screenshots. I did see that it wasn't tagged with nudity, but Seems like these girls are in some scantily clad superheroine outfits. Well, yeah. It's a visual novel, scantily clad superhero characters, $3.49, English only. Probably not going to make it, but I'll put it on the follow list. I'd like to see if maybe this catches a different audience. Although, yeah, I kind of question. Let's see. If we play this, can we then somehow magically play this? I'm clearly putting way too many things on the follow list. I'm just making a nightmare scenario for myself when I need to do the next follow list cleanup. Right, let's just go all that. This red deck, more than any of the other decks, is probably one of the most challenging ones. What is this ability? Oh, I can block with that, I guess. That's all it's asking me to do. Yeah, let's just do no blocks. I thought I was activating an ability, and I'm reading these abilities, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Alright, now all you attack. Next we have a game on Steam called Viking Chess and Fantastical. Like I don't read enough Vikings to know how that would be pronounced. Okay, this looks like a chess of some sort. Let's put it on the following list. It's in early access right now. It's $2.99. Single player, multiplayer, third party EULA, English only. If this gets really polished, I wouldn't be upset with learning this game. I've seen this game before. This Viking chess. I've seen. It's like a discovered chess game that we're not sure. I don't think anybody's 100% sure how it actually was played, and there's several different variants that probably happened throughout the decades. But they have a general idea of how it's played, and they've been recreating it in digital worlds. All right. Let's see. Moving on, Gamatsu has an article for PC here. Kingdom Under Fire 2 Spellsword Class Trailer Opening Movie and screenshots are available. This looks like this might be an interesting game, or at least it's an elf game with a large cleavage aficionado behind it. It's coming out for North America and Europe. I wonder if the question there is it already out in Asian countries? Like every screenshot here is this elf girl with large cleavage showing through her what's the word when you call that? Cleavage? Boob window? No, that's the general descriptor. Let's see what this opening looks like. I don't want to show it, but elf girl, different elf girl. a elf chained and being hung in the air, being tortured and executed. More elf girls fighting goblins and monsters. Yeah, I'm not sure this isn't an adult game, frankly, from the looks of it. I don't know if there's going to be a real game here or not. It's from Gameforge and developer Blueside. Alright. Have to pay attention here. Play this. This. And then do I want to do no attacks, because I could attack here and I could attack here and just win, I guess. Yeah, he doesn't have any flying creatures. Wow, he just played something that ended my turn. Interesting. This one has trample, but trample really wouldn't do a lot of damage. This is every card I've been able to play. I think I can win here. I think there's some way we're gonna win. What did he just play? Covering all damage that would be dealt this turn. Okay, well, let's go ahead and block that. I seriously doubt he's got yet another. He's got no cards now, so we've got victory now. I don't know what this is doing, but whatever. I didn't want to read the card. So yeah, now we've got another card. Now we are down to getting like 50 gold for each victory. It gets pretty low, but it's still kind of worth doing. Particularly if you just want to be free to play. It's kind of worth doing. It's a lot better than Hearthstone, where you had to win 3 games to get 10 gold. That was ridiculous. Let's see. We have Children of Mortas now available for Xbox One. Let's see, in a story-driven action RPG game about an extraordinary family of heroes. Okay, that sounds slightly interesting. The Fisherman Fishing Planet is now available for Xbox One. This is almost certainly not interesting. $39 for a fishing game. Fishing games do have a tendency to be expensive and bad quality. So, yeah, they're not a good move. Alright, let's just go ahead and use this to destroy this. So we can then do this and put this on the field. Thank goodness I had that. I didn't really know that I had that, so I thought I was going to do this. So what do we want to do? Gamma Sutra, this is an old article here. Fortnite is back after suddenly going dark for days to hype a big content update. People were putting a lot of memes out saying Elon Musk had bought Fortnite and shut it down, or that Fortnite was significantly better as it being shut down and just having you see the black hole and not being able to play. This is an interesting article. TechRaptor. AVICII Invector brings late artist music to PC and console. So a 2017 rhythm game featuring EDM of the late DJ Avicii, I suppose, is that how that's pronounced? Interesting. Okay. It kind of seems like maybe a little bit of pandering more than anything, though. And as far as I'm concerned, an unheard of, unknown past DJ is getting his music put into a game almost certainly via a licensing company that couldn't care less and is just trying to make as much of money out of it as possible. But I guess that is true. I guess that might be true in general, is that most publishing companies don't care about their the music they're publishing, so whether the person is still living or dead. I could attack here. Let's see. You know what we'll do? We'll attack with this one and not that one. And then he can either take the pick, defend or not. Doesn't hurt me one way or the other. CNET has this weird article, and this picture is weird too, because here's the Xbox accessibility controller connected directly to the parts of the brain of a person. This is a really terrible title. The new gods of esports are paralyzed from the neck down. Players with quadriplegia are using neuroscience and video games to take on the world. Take on the world? Let's be realistic. Not in any significant numbers. Enjoy what the world has to offer? Sure, I'd buy that. That they're being able to engage in ways they weren't able to in the past. But, yeah. The title alone seems to make this argument that all esports players around the world have now just magically been replaced with paralyzed gamers, which, yeah, there's in particular quadriplegics, not just people who have different varieties of disabilities. It seems like this is a ridiculous title for what is probably, by the looks of it, as I'm skimming the article, which is pretty long, seems to just be a feel-good human interest piece. But why can't it just be a feel-good human interest piece? Let's see. So, if that next we'll be talking about this more now that I'm looking at this. We have Magic Online announcements. Now, Magic Online I don't think is actually what we're playing right now. Magic the Gathering Arena is what we're playing right now, so apparently Magic Online is also still going. KS Draft October 16th. So I'll have to be a little careful here. I guess the question is, why would Magic Online keep on going? I guess it's just, it already exists right now, so there'd be no reason to shut it down, but eventually they do have to kind of either funnel all of their fan base to Magic Arena, or funnel all the Magic Arena players to Magic Online. I think Magic Online is mostly just a website though, and doesn't have anywhere near the amount of polish as this does, and compared to even the older even the older Magic the Gathering apps that I've seen, this is pretty polished. So they do seem like, for the moment at least, they're trying hard. Maybe they'll stop caring about it and abandon Magic Arena, but maybe they won't. You really don't know. Let's see, actually I shouldn't have cancelled. Yeah, I shouldn't have attacked with that, because these two cards are actually very useful. Just attack with that. He's gonna have to defend, or he's gonna lose. Here's Gamma Sutra with the same obituary for Insomniac Games artist Craig Goodman. We read the full thing from the funeral service, the full obituary. They brought it down to 3, maybe 4 sentences. He worked on Ratchet and Clank, Song of the Deep, to Marvel's Spider-Man. Yeah. Gamma Sutra. I guess maybe they took the details that don't matter to most gamers out, but they probably should leave some of those details in. Like, in all honesty, the entire obituary, as I read it, would have been fine. Maybe you make these 5 sentences your opening paragraph, more info below, just put more info below after the first paragraph, and then you talk more about his life, instead of boiling a human being down to 3 sentences just so you can get ad revenue clicks. Next we have a Tech Raptor article. Blitzchung responds to Blizzard's decision. I really don't care what his response is, because it, to me, he's just a match. I'm interested in the fire. If it wasn't Blitzchung, it would have been somebody else. He's being kind of magnanimous on Twitter, so maybe somebody's threatening him, or maybe he's realized that his career is in much bigger hot water than he thought it was. Yeah, I totally get that too. Like, I imagine he thought he'd get like a 1-game suspension at most, and for them to come out and say we're gonna ban you for a year, which means you're effectively your career is over. That's pretty bad. So you could go check out this article if you care. In the end, it's still Activision Blizzard's actions that are the problem, not the fact that they've halved down. They didn't double down on their actions. They instead still said they were in the right to do what they did, and then they just reduced the penalty somewhat. So this costs 1 less if you control a creature with flying. Well, do control a creature with flying. Let's see. TechRaptor has an article here. Wargroove's Double Trouble DLC has been announced. Okay, a free DLC coming to all platforms. That's nice. I don't know what Wargroove is, but it looks kind of interesting. It's apparently Double Trouble is co-op gameplay. Like one of those cards, the Guild Globe made an interesting sound. Draw a card. So next we have a Gamma Sutra article. Get a job. Ghost Story Games is looking for a cinematic narrative scripter. Now I confused Ghost Story Games with, I think, Fireside Games, which was the maker of Firewatch, but maybe not. This is weird. Also, this is via Take-Two Interactive. Ghost Story Games used to be known as Irrational. Wait a minute. So are they the ones that made BioShock? Yeah, did they make BioShock 1 and BioShock 2? Yeah. They changed the names so much that I can't even remember. Let's see. And so the only way to really solve this would be to just Google them and look up their Wikipedia article. Just go and resolve. Sacrifice a non-land permanent. Okay. Draw 2 cards. Draw 2 cards. Play this. There you go. Let's see, Ghost Story Games. Based out of Westwood, Massachusetts, led by Ken Levine. Take-Two Interactive. Yes, they are the BioShock Infinite team. Not to be confused with Fireside Games. They, I think, maybe made Firewatch, or maybe I'm thinking of a completely different thing. Let's see. So, if Ghost Story Games is looking for a new narrative writer, that means 2 things from my perspective. it means that Ken Levine is not the force behind the narrative story in general. He's not doing all the writing at the very least for the next game they're making, which I assume will be very much nothing like BioShock, although frankly if they made something outside of the BioShock universe that was a lot like BioShock, that would be fine. Like, and generally I think even BioShock Infinite went a little too crazy with its story and wasn't quite as good with its gameplay. Alright, what do I want to send to the field? I can't even do anything there. It's like returning cards to his hands or destroying cards. I'm testing out a new backup software called Duplicati, D-U-P-L-I-C-A-T-I. It works with WebDAV, W-B-D-A-V, so that you can back up to something like your own cloud or Nextcloud. I'll report back if it's any kind of final possible solution. There's some weirdness to it though. It basically runs a server, and so it just launches a web page for you to interface with it, but it also has a system tray icon. But you can't just double click the system tray and open up an app. It just launches the web page, which is weird. I get that it probably should run a server since it is connecting to an internet source to back up, but then it also seems to have no stable releases at all, and it seemed to jump from version 1.34 or something straight to version 2, and now seems to just be pushing canary labeled versions. That might just boil down to a case of them making no promises, but it definitely seems weird. But yeah, that's one of the things I also spent my time with, is setting up a new backup, trying different backups. Windows 7 8 backup doesn't really work for me. The connecting to Nextcloud as a network drive kind of works, but I wouldn't want to. Then it still doesn't work with Windows 7 backup, and Windows 10 backup is limited to just backing up and restoring file versions of files it determines or thinks are important, and not the entire PC. So if your hard drive crashes, you still end up spending all day installing Windows 10 before you can even restore your files. So yeah, that's weird. Doesn't have anything to do with video games. I also set up Apache Guacamole, which is a web-based remote desktop service. I configured that to connect to my main PC via with my Windows 10 PC via remote desktop, which that's probably something I'll never actually use, but I guess better to have it than to not. Maybe at some point I'll just stop talking about all the nerdy, geeky stuff I'm doing, but I don't see a reason not to. Might as well talk about what's going on in my life. Hey, it's my channel. I can do whatever I want. And if it entertains or informs at least one person, that's more's the better. Let's see. Moving on, Gamma Sutra has this article, how Ubisoft designed and refined its Assassin's Creed VR escape rooms. Which I don't think very many people experienced those, and I don't see a real reason why you would want to read an article about that. Yeah, I don't think that there is an Assassin's Creed VR escape room game out there, which is really what that should have been. There you go. Yeah, leave that on top. I will just take control of every creature you have on the field. You just summon as many creatures as you want, and I will take them all. Here's an old article. Gamma Sutra, Fortnite's latest narrative turn, and has taken the entire game offline. It's back online now. Alright. 1, 2. 1, 2. Auto pay. Thought that took control of them. What happened there? Did he destroy all creatures, or did he, or was there, can you not take control of token creatures? I don't see a reason why you couldn't take control of token creatures. Play this. At this level, when you have 11 mana, what is going on? Like, I have plenty of mana, but I can't do anything. It's because of the attack or defense. Something here is reducing your creatures by -1 twice. That's what's happening, and so anything I play dies immediately because I don't have enough health on them. And then this one can just exile cards and summon more flying spirits. So he's got a strategy that's just gonna ruin me. I don't know how I can even survive there. I can't. Alright, well, just auto pass. Meanwhile, we have a story here. Gamma Sutra, there's a report that 50 workers have been laid off at the Bendy and the Ink Machine developer Kindly Beast. This is an update from a previous story that there had been a large amount of layoffs. We now have 50 as a rumored number. This will be our last game. Gamma Sutra has an article here. Curve Digital, owner Catalyst Group, has acquired North Edge Capital for $113 million. That's 2 inside baseball for me. Let's see, what else do we have? Susan Wojcicki tweeted something. What did she tweet? Oh yeah, there was an earthquake in California. That's what she tweeted. That doesn't really affect video games too much. Skullgirl's second encore for Switch launches October 22nd, according to Gamatsu. Interesting. I think the developers of Skullgirls also are working on some other game, or releasing another game around this time. Let's just for Xbox Online, Xbox One, Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Editions are now available. $49.99 to play an old game. Zombieland Double Tap Road Trip is now available for Xbox One. $39.99. That's probably a terrible TV movie tie-in game, I was to guess. See, I need to get way better about covering the news, because I'm paying way more attention right now to Magic the Gathering Arena than I am the news. Let's see. Planescape Torment and Icewind Dale Enhanced Editions are now available, also in some kind of bundle. It seems like it's a bundle. That seems to be the way this goes. Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion HD renovation has PS4 trophies, so it's probably coming to the PS4. Police Chase Xbox One Edition is now available. That's almost certainly a garbage game. And we only have a couple more things. Monkey King Heroes Back has trophies for PS4. So that's another game that's potentially coming to it. Let's see. Gamatsu has the same article here. Postal 4 No Regrets announced for PC, available now via Steam Early Access. Yeah. Still don't think anybody should really be playing that game. Or they should be selling the game. You'd have to do something really crazy, really wild, I suppose, to make it worth coming out and having another one in the series. Gamatsu has the same article here. Wargroove free DLC Double Trouble announced. They have some slightly different screenshots here that actually at least gives me a bit of an idea of what Wargroove looks like. Let's see, Wargroove is available now digitally via Xbox One, PS4, Switch, and PC. So maybe I'll do some research more on Wargroove and see if it's something I'm actually interested in. And that brings me to the Humble Bundle store, which let's see, there's a postmodern games bundle. Let's see. That's a weird phrase, but if you pay $1 or more, you'll get Beckett, Thomas Was Alone, Yumi Nikki, and Rusty Lake Hotel, and all of them, I don't know if postmodernism is the right phrase, all of them are weird games, though. $7.13, you get the Stanley Parable, the game Everything, Yumi Nikki Dream Diary, which was the remake that not too many people were happy with. And if you pay $15 or more, you get Catherine Classic, which I think this is available to purchase on Steam otherwise. I'm gonna have to do some research there, though, because I'm not 100% sure you can buy Catherine Classic on Steam. So if this is some sneaky way that you can get the Steam code, it might be worth that $15. Although it is also kind of weird to buy Catherine Classic on Steam, as we know that the Catherine Full Body remastered also came out almost exactly the same time. And the other bundles on Humble Bundle store don't seem like there's anything else new worth mentioning. RPG Maker bundle, that's not worth mentioning. The Humble Monthly bundle's not really worth mentioning. There's a Make Your Own Cards Games bundle that has 5 days left. There's a developing your own games book bundle. Yeah, there's a lot. There's the one special day 2019 bundle has 5 days left, so 5 days from now we might start to see some more bundles of interest. And so that finally puts me back on my Twitter page, and I guess it's just going to be a matter of scrolling down really quickly here and seeing if there's anything new. Nutaku has a tower defense game called Vixen Wars. One of the YouTube streamers was promoting it because he's always demonetized. The American University, the Hearthstone team was banned for the Hong Kong protest. I guess the hypocrisy was so deafening that they felt they needed to do that, even though they had already forfeited the game. So that'll be another spark on that fire. We can mention that Friday. I'm sure more will happen and more will come out of it. Let's see. There's almost certainly going to be a bunch of what's on Steam games that came out. Let's see. Twitch has made some artificial viewer removal improvements, so people's inflated views will now be deflated, which probably isn't going to help a lot of people because most people streaming on Twitch I suspect aren't getting very many views anyway, so they would probably be very happy to see the fake views. Hearthstone is promoting the Doom of Tomb second week of their Halloween thing that, yeah, I don't think too many people will be playing. And let's see. Anthem update may have just wiped out event currency with little notice, because I don't think many people are even playing in Anthem. Let's see. Is any of this important news? I'm probably gonna mute Magic the Gathering esports because there's several Magic the Gathering Twitter feeds I'm following, and the esports one I think in particular is not going to give me any kind of codes or anything of interest. So I'm gonna scroll down their lists and scroll down their Twitter feed and see if they ever give out codes, and then probably mute them just to free up my Twitter feed. Borderlands 3 is having events, but their events seem to be very much now timed to a date instead of being a DLC that you could play at any point for Halloween. Yeah, so maybe next year there will be a Halloween DLC, but maybe they're just going to try and bring everything to be an event. That would certainly be weird, though, and that would devalue people who are late. It also probably is also affecting, well, will eventually mean fewer Steam golden key codes, shift codes get put out for Borderlands 3. There's a decent amount still getting put out right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if that number just starts diminishing. Nintendo Switch Performance Patch is live, and it has some new features according to this article. Interesting. And yeah, I think I've hit the point where There's no new news. So, that's going to be it for this stream. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below on the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.